The FBI believed that once a prisoner entered this jail, escape was impossible. And even if someone was released inside the prison, getting out alive was still unthinkable. So how did 3 prisoners escape right under the authorities' noses? What makes this case even more shocking is that for nearly 10 hours, prison officials had no idea the escape had even happened. Not just the FBI, but 3 top-level US agencies spent years trying to uncover the truth behind this case. We're talking about a jailbreak that has remained unsolved for more than 60 years, a mystery that still fascinates the world today. Welcome to a new amazing video. This small island in the Pacific Ocean is just 22 acres in size, yet it once held some of the most dangerous criminals in the world. This island is known as Alcatraz. Built on a massive rock in the middle of the sea, it earned the nickname The Rock. From every direction, the island is surrounded by freezing ocean waters. A 15-foot-high fence was added for extra security, along with 24/7 armed guards watching every movement. Because Alcatraz sits at the mouth of the Pacific Ocean, it is constantly battered by strong winds and violent waves. With all these natural and man-made barriers, the prison was officially declared a federal penitentiary in 1934, designed to offer security beyond imagination. In simple terms, once you entered Alcatraz, there was no way out. At least, that's what everyone believed. But on July 12, 1962, that belief was shattered when 3 prisoners managed to escape, completely fooling the prison's security system. The key figures in this story are 4 inmates. First are John William Anglin and Clarence Anglin, brothers imprisoned for bank robbery. Then there's Frank Morris, a man who had been in and out of prison since the age of 13, also serving time for bank robbery. And finally, Alan West, a repeat escape artist who had already attempted multiple prison breaks in the past. Because of his history, Alan West was sent to Alcatraz under maximum security. He had spent more time inside the prison than the others, and as a result, he knew the layout better than anyone. It was Alan West who first proposed the idea of escaping Alcatraz in 1960. While working in Block B, Alan discovered a small structural weakness, a loophole that suggested escape might actually be possible. And that single discovery would soon change the history of Alcatraz forever. The problem was that the 4 prisoners could only meet during lunch breaks. But their cells weren't in Block B, where escape would be easier. They kept trying to get themselves transferred to Block B, and fortunately for them, the jailer eventually agreed. Not only were they moved to Block B, but the 4 of them were placed right next to each other. Their first step toward escape was complete. For the next 2 years, no one had any clue what they were doing in their cells. Then came July 12, 1962. Like every morning, the guards went about their routine, collecting the prisoners for the daily count. But when the numbers were checked, something impossible had happened. 3 prisoners were missing. Confused, the guards rushed back to the cells. There, they found Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers seemingly asleep in their beds in Block B. At first glance, it looked normal, but as the guard got closer, he noticed something was off. The beds didn't hold actual prisoners. They held dummy heads, carefully crafted from soap, plaster, and even with real hair. One of the heads even fell to the floor and broke when touched. Seeing this, the prison staff were stunned. How could 3 prisoners have vanished from such a high-security facility? They scoured the entire island, but there was no trace of them anywhere. Everyone was left asking the same question: how did they escape? Remember, Alan West wasn't among the escapees, but he was the mastermind behind the plan. Once the investigation got underway and the FBI was called in, the shocking details began to emerge. All 3 had crawled through a small vent in their cells, a tiny opening just 5 by 9.5 inches, to make their escape. But it wasn't just 3 vents, they discovered a 4th vent. Alan West's, which he had attempted to use, but for some reason had failed. Realizing he couldn't survive outside, Alan decided it was time to come clean. He confessed that the entire plan had been his idea. He had created the dummy heads himself, even stealing hair from his fellow inmates during haircuts to make them realistic. Alan knew exactly how to exploit the vent because he had worked in prison maintenance. The walls were only 6 inches thick, and he realized that the vent openings could be enlarged with enough patience and effort. For 6 long months, all 4 prisoners looked for any chance to enlarge the vent in their cells. They worked slowly, carefully, using spoons stolen from the kitchen. Eventually, they even built a makeshift drill using the motor from the prison's vacuum cleaner. To keep their work hidden, they placed musical instruments or other objects in front of the vent. And they always worked during musical hour, when the noise from the block masked their drilling. The vent opened into a corridor without any guards, giving them a secret path forward. From there, a drain pipe led straight to the roof of the block, a place prisoners often went for maintenance duties. Alcatraz kept inmates busy with tasks like this, and these 4 used the opportunity to inspect every inch for their escape plan. From the roof, another pipe allowed them to climb down, and then they made their way over the 15-foot tall fence surrounding the island. By then, every part of the plan was in place. They had even prepared an inflatable raft made by tying together rubber raincoats provided by the prison. They also fashioned life jackets from raincoats, in case the raft failed and they had to swim through the frigid waters. But the FBI still had a big question: where had the prisoners gone? According to Alan West, the plan was to first reach Angel Island, just north of Alcatraz, and from there make it to the mainland, where security was minimal. Once on land, they were supposed to steal a car and change their clothes. Investigators scoured every mainland area near Alcatraz, but there were no reports of theft or robbery anywhere. Investigators studied the footprints on Block B's roof, tracing the path they had taken down the pipes. Now, the case involved not just the FBI, but the Coast Guard, the Bureau of Prisons, and the U.S. Marshals Service, all combing the waters around the island. Yet they found no prisoners, no raft, no life jackets. What should have been a criminal case was quickly turning into a full-blown mystery. 4 days later, the Coast Guard found a paddle made of floating wood, likely part of the raft. They also recovered 2 bags made from raincoats, containing personal items like family photos and letters. These belongings suggested the prisoners probably didn't make it to the mainland alive, since it's unlikely they would leave such precious items behind. Normally, a body would surface within 2 days in the cold waters, but for months, investigators found no trace of them at all. Some theorized that the prisoners may have reached the mainland by swimming, even without the raft. After the escape, the FBI kept a close eye on the Anglin family. One nephew, David Widner, told the FBI that the brother's elder sibling had claimed his brothers were alive and in contact. Other family members reported seeing 2 women with unusual makeup who might have disguised themselves as John and Clarence, but those women were never seen again. Years later, 15 years after the escape, a cousin of the Anglin brothers spotted 2 men in a club in Brazil, claiming they were the brothers, and even took a photo. The family believes it could be them, but investigators with the U.S. Marshals Service remain skeptical, saying the men in the photo don't match the brothers' ages. That was the last time the Anglin brothers were ever reported alive. Since then, they've vanished without a trace. The very next year after their daring escape, Alcatraz was closed. By 1979, the FBI had officially given up hope and closed their investigation. Today, the case remains open only with the U.S. Marshals Service, and it will stay open until either the prisoners are captured, their bodies are found, or they reach 99 years of age. Today, Alcatraz Island is a national park, and visitors can walk through the same Block B cells, where, over 60 years ago, the Anglin brothers, Frank Morris and Alan West were held. Hope you guys like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for your loving comments.